Well, what I make of Mike D'Antoni's comments is that he wished he didn't have Kobe Bryant. Now, as much as that sounds as if I'm engaging in hyperbole, I submit to you that's not the case. And here where I'm coming from, Skip Bayless. If you look at Mike D'Antoni, go back to the Knicks before they acquired Carmelo Anthony. You had Danilo Gallinari and the Wilson Chandlers of the world and the Raymond Feltons of the world and the Timothy Mozgovs of the world, people like that. You see the job that at least three of those guys are doing in Denver to this day. You sort of understand where Mike D'Antoni was coming from. You look at the Lakers prior to Kobe Bryant's arrival, Xavier Henry, Nick Young, Jody Meeks, the Steve Blakes of the world, others. What happens is if you're Mike D'Antoni in a perfect world, you have a captain, an extension of the coach on the floor to run your system to perfection like a Steve Nash. Outside of that, he prefers that the other four parts be, relatively disposable. In other words, whoever's open, feel free to shoot. Feel no accountability or no deference to anyone else on the floor. Take the shots that are given to you. Take the opportunities that are available to you. It's what fuels his system. And when you have a guy like Kobe Bryant, whether directly or indirectly, whether consciously or subconsciously, because he's a five-time world champion, he's the Black Mamba, he's a league scoring champion, a league MVP, a future Hall of Famer, whether you say it or not, the understanding is that to some degree you have to defer to Kobe Bryant. So as a result, it compromises everything that Mike D'Antoni wants to do. So when this is a reality for you if you're Mike D'Antoni, and then you hear Kobe Bryant come out and say, it wasn't like we were gangbusters anyway, but you're Mike D'Antoni and you were a 500 team and exceeding expectations, you're going to be taken a bit aback by that. And that's why I think you saw Mike D'Antoni react the way that he reacted. But what I would submit to Mike D'Antoni is that his system may have won games, may have even averaged 58 wins a season in Phoenix at one point. But at the same time, it's never won you championships. So he's got to watch what he says to some degree, not to mention the fact that coming into last night with them surrendering 103 points per game, which was the absolute worst defense in the Western Conference, you don't need to be saying stuff like that in retaliation to what Kobe Bryant had to say. But it's not entirely in defense of Mike D'Antoni. It's not entirely his fault, Skip. Because as I watched these boys last night against Phoenix, first of all, Jeff Hornacek is doing a damn good job coaching this team. That's number one. Number two, the Morris twins were giving it to Pau Gasol. Number three, so was everybody else. Pau Gasol, God bless him, one of the nicest people in the world and skilled as a big man, was just giving it away. I mean, giving no defensive presence whatsoever. You have no interior defense if you're the Los Angeles Lakers, and that's really the problem with what we saw last night. And I think you heard Kobe alluding to it earlier. You heard Mike D'Antoni trying to defend it, but that defense, particularly in the interior, is indefensible. They've got nobody on their front line to really pose any kind of defensive presence, and that's the real problem with the Lakers, not D'Antoni or Kobe.
Okay, but back to your first line. Do I ever agree with you? These quotes before last night's game from Mike D'Antoni came off as if D'Antoni resents Kobe's presence, that D'Antoni was very proud of the coaching job he had done with a lot less than Kobe Bryant, obviously, at least a healthy Kobe, and that they had been on a nice little roll, just a little roll. And that those shock troops coming off the bench, that second unit, it's been very impressive. Dare I say it's been Phoenix Suns-like, 7 seconds or less like, that kind of ball movement, as if D'Antoni started to fancy he was back in Phoenix. And Kobe is more of a ball stopper. He's more of an ISO guy. He's going to go one-on-one more, and the ball's not going to move quite the way it does, especially with the second unit. So what's our bottom line here? Kobe's played 2 games now. I must say, he played very well last night. That was a shocking, that was sort of a quantum leap from opening night game. But they lost to 6-12 Toronto at Staples, not great. And then Phoenix, now 12-9. They're not bad, not great. They're beatable at Staples. And obviously, as you just said, I watched the whole game too. They just pretty much took control from the start, and they led pretty much from start to finish. Not a great sign. even though Kobe's numbers came way up and it looked like he had some impact, but not enough impact. Mike D'Antoni went all the way to the word travesty in his quotes, if you read all of them. And again, I don't want to make too much of it, but he was saying basically, if it had been anyone else coming back but Kobe, it would be a travesty to try to fit somebody else into a rotation that was really clicking for us. And again, I'm paraphrasing the quote a little bit, but you see what I mean. It's D'Antoni saying, hey, we really had it going. I'm proud of what we had. And now Kobe's coming back? Oh, well,
he can't say that, though.
No, he can't say that, but still.
But here's my problem, Skip. I'm sorry. I've never seen Mike D'Antoni wearing a purple and gold jersey. I've never seen Mike D'Antoni on a court over the course of 48 minutes, running up and down the court shooting J's. His job is to coach. What the hell are you doing then? The fact is that Kobe Bryant didn't have to play 28 minutes in his first game back. You're the one who put him out there. The minutes that he played last night, he didn't necessarily have to play it, even though he played very effectively. Hit better than 50% of his shots, only attempted 11, was playing within the system, wasn't selfish at all, and still ended up leading the league and leading the team in scoring because you had other guys simply not making shots. Everything can't be on Kobe. Not defending Kobe here, but I'm looking at Mike D'Antoni, and I'm like, the problems that you're alluding to are coaching problems.